Welcome back. Another episode of Toni Told Me podcast. I'm so excited. I have a wonderful, wonderful guest with me for this episode. This episode is all about interracial dating, right? Interracial dating.
Playing in the snow.
Okay. I like that. Playing in the snow. That's the colloquial term, isn't it? Playing in the snow. And today I have Afua with me. So just to give you some background before we start, I'll let Afua introduce herself in a second. But you guys commented and said, you know what? We don't just want celebs and influencers on the pod. We want real life people you know, people you have relationships with, and just people who want to come on the podcast. We want to hear about real life shiznit, right? And so I've been trying to get like family involved, partner involved and whatnot. And when I thought about this topic, I said, you know what, I have to get Afua involved. Let me give you some background. So my old management company, Afua used to work there and we hit it off. She's absolutely amazing, absolutely hilarious. And she's just a wonderful, you know, people that you're around and they just have a wonderful aura and a wonderful spirit. No, you do. You are so wonderful. You are so wonderful. Nice. So I wanted to get you on the pod anyway. Then when I thought about this topic, I was like, wait, Afua's man is white.
Yeah, my man is white.
Your man is white.
So he's not even just white, he's Scottish.
Oh, he's white.
He's white.
Okay, white.
We are with a QH. Like, he is white.
That is hilarious.
Like, there's no glazing above it or over it. My boyfriend is white.
Okay, fair. Good.
Love him.
Good, we got the right person on this show. So I want you to share your age, a bit of background about you. But before we get into it, we are going to change Afua's boyfriend's name for this pod.
Yeah, we're changing his name for anonymity's sake. And because I know you bitches. Like, the way I'm about to talk about my man, about how amazing and lovely he is, I don't want anybody sliding into his DMs.
That's hilarious.
Watch them in the comments be like, no one wants your man, sis.
No, now you said it, they can't say anymore.
They can't say
you couldn't.
No, but in my head, that's my boo thing.
I
That's
love
my everything.
that for you. So,
changing his name for that sake.
Afua, do you want to give some insight into who you are and also what you've been up to? Give us some tea on your life. What you been up to, girl?
I mean, so my name's Afua. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm 24 years old. I'll be 25 in July. I'm a Cancer, so I'm very maternal.
Cancer, sis.
Yeah, literally Cancer. I cry a lot, but you know, I'm very loving, very caring, a little bit emotional. But yeah, I work in talent management. I'm a talent agent, so I be looking after people. I recently got a promotion, which I'm very happy and excited about.
Round of applause.
Yes, clap for me. So I'm moving up in the world. But yeah, I'm a pretty simple bee. I'm going to Ghana next week.
Oh, nice.
So,
I'm jealous.
Yeah, as you should be.
I need to go to Ghana. No, I am jealous. Like my best friend lives there. She's been there for so long and I haven't been yet, but I need to go.
Come with me.
Yeah, I need to. I mean, next week is a bit short notice.
Next week is a bit short notice, but let me know when you want to come.
Yeah,
I'll put you up in a nice house.
Oh, I need to be in Ghana.
Yeah, I'll use you to get into places
yeah.
though.
Yeah. Mutually beneficial relationship.
Mutually beneficial. I'll be like, I got a Toni here and she needs that table. I hate to break it to you.
That is hilarious. I love that.
Yeah.
What have I been up to? 2 weeks ago, I was at the Brits. 2 weeks ago, I was at the Brits.
Yeah, how was the Brits?
The Brits was good, actually. It was really nice to see the performances. So Lola Young.
I love me some Lola.
Messy. Loved that.
I've heard people saying that she's a Nepo baby because her auntie wrote the Gruffalo. You know the Gruffalo.
Sorry. The Gruffalo. I mean,
people clowning on poor Lola.
But I don't think like that. No, that's not like Nepo baby status. It's like that different industry. It's your auntie. It's not your parent. Like leave her alone. Like,
and even if her parent did write the Gruffalo, like it's the Gruffalo. It's not like her parent owns Interscope or something.
Right.
Like,
exactly. That is jokes. I did not know that. Teddy Swims was there as well. Teddy Swims.
Really?
Yeah. Teddy Swims was there.
How was that?
Oh, I loved it.
Yes.
Lose control.
Yeah.
I cannot sing to save my life. Jeez.
It's okay, babe. I'll tell you that you're good.
Oh, you would lie to me.
No, not lie.
What kind of friendship is that?
Embellish the truth.
Embellish the truth.
Just embellish the truth.
Okay, fair.
Keep you confident.
But the Brits was good. It was very nice.
Who are you wearing? Like,
okay, I was wearing Clubel.
No, okay.
Do you know what it is? I'm a very low maintenance. People have this illusion that they have this opinion, that I'm high maintenance. And it's an illusion. When I go on red carpets, I'm my own glam team. People will get a designer, a stylist, a hairstylist, a makeup artist. I will lay my wig. I will do my makeup. I will go on the internet. I'll find a dress.
Preach.
99% of the time, it'll be black.
Yeah.
Because it's safe.
It looks
and I'm
good.
boring.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You're not boring.
No, when it comes to fashion, girl, I'm boring. I own it. I'm boring.
You're not, I wouldn't say boring. I'd say you're classic.
Oh,
there's
well,
nothing wrong with being classic. You're original. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yes, a classic beauty.
Exactly.
Yes, that's what I will say from now on. I'm classic. But yeah, I was wearing Club L because I was just like, you know what? Oh, ticket to the Brits, and I did and I was like, should I get someone to make a dress? But I'm also cheap, which doesn't help.
Preach.
Because I think about the cost for the makeup, the cost for the hair.
Yes.
Then I'm gonna get a stylist or buy a dress.
Yes.
It all adds up.
Shoes.
And for what? To take a nice picture.
Yeah,
so
that's
that picture is
true.
going to cost me what? £1,000 upwards. Nah, I will buy my £90 dress from Club L and I'll beat my own face and call it a day. And the pictures, the Getty still look cute.
Exactly.
The Getty still look cute.
And to be honest, when the face is right, and it's always right, you could be wearing a bin bag when the face is correct. What can you do?
It's given.
Exactly.
Black heart, Amex Platinum.
Exactly. But in this economy, some stylists be charging because obviously I've got different clients.
Yeah.
One stylist was charging 2.7K, and here's the thing, they are extremely good at their jobs, and they're getting
I've actually just lost my breath.
I know, they're getting custom vintage pieces, pieces in the archive. But goddamn, 2.7K. I'm I even make that a month.
I got a stylist one time, right?
Yeah.
And it was 600 and my eyes watered.
Really?
My eyes watered.
600.
So that
Were they
seems
good?
It was even on the cheap end. She was good. She it wasn't my favorite look ever, but she did what she needed to do. It was cool. But afterwards it was I couldn't justify the 600.
Exactly. You couldn't justify the cost.
Yeah. And I think if I was a fashionista,
yeah,
right? Some girls are stylish. There are content creators I love, Fasaya
Yes.
Long, I love. She pulls it out of the bag.
She
One
does.
Day. There are
I love you one day.
content creators and fashion bloggers and whatnot that they pull. Alana's another one. They pull looks together. They will layer, have all this jewelry, loads of color.
Yeah. Wearing trousers with skirts and stuff. And I'm okay.
Bow ties and ties and all these rings and stuff. If I was like that, then cool. A stylist kind of makes sense because you can play with me. You can have fun. We can explore together. I can add my creative prowess to the look. I am literally, like you said, classic.
You're give me a classic silhouette.
Yes.
Titties good, ass good, hair right, I'm good.
That's it. Classic silhouette.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
It's I do not want to pay someone $2,000 to give me a maxi dress or a coordinate.
No, I'd be fuming.
I'd be flipping. Fuming.
I would be hot.
Anisha.
And ain't nothing wrong with being cheap.
I think I'm cheap when it comes to fashion, but not other things though. Because I say I'm cheap, but actually no, I'm not, because I'm an experiences over materials person.
Yeah, you said that.
Same.
I will spend money on vacations and
on
food.
holidays and stuff.
On clothes and makeup, not so much.
And when I say I will, my man will spend that.
I love that. And speaking of your man.
Speaking of my man.
Let's get into the theme of this podcast. Actually, before we do, tea time with Toni. We've got some dilemmas.
Okay, yes. I love, oh my God, giving unsolicited advice is my favorite thing on earth. Yeah.
Okay, you're in the
Bring
right place.
on the mug.
I mean, to be fair, this is solicited because they asked for our assistance.
They did ask.
Yeah.
So, producer Anisha, what is dilemma one for today, please?
So,
Give it to us.
dilemma number one says, I started talking to this new guy. We've known each other for about 2 years, but we really started talking recently.
Okay.
He's so sweet and he helps me with a lot of different things. I have this rule of not dating someone I can't see a future with. And I'm Catholic. Oh my God, I can't speak.
It's okay, baby.
And I'm Catholic. And I actually don't see myself with a Muslim as a life partner.
Okay.
I don't know if I should just calm down and see where things go, or I should end it, as it's still early before lots of emotions get involved. P.S. I've told him it's a deal breaker, but we've not had a proper conversation about it.
Do you want to go first or shall I go first?
Oh, no, please, guess. I love the guest going first.
This is going to sound kind of harsh, but I feel like when things come to especially religion and spirituality, especially if you're both very staunch in your standings on those sorts of things, it sounds bad, but sis, you might have to end it. I say definitely have a conversation to see how important it is to both of you, because if you're looking at a future with each other and how you want to raise children if you want them, the kind of ceremony you want to have, we can mix things together and whatnot, but if it's something very important to you that I want to raise my children in a certain way within the Catholic Church, or I want to raise my children, within the Islam faith, there are gonna be roadblocks. Yes, both faiths are similar in certain ways, both of them being Abrahamic faiths. However,
come through with the history. Okay,
she went to school. she reads, but but both those faiths being somewhat similar, but also very different in terms of practice and cultural backgrounds as well. So
I'm with you.
It sounds peak. It's looking like you're going to have to end it, but there are plenty of Catholic men in the sea. Go to the Vatican, sis. Like,
not the Vatican.
You can find someone there.
No, but I'm with you. And I'm a bit confused because she did say at the end, like, I told him it was a deal breaker. So it's like, if you told him it was a deal breaker, you've already set a boundary to him.
Exactly.
It's a non-negotiable that you've already addressed with him. So you bringing it here, I think, like, you're just clinging on to hope.
Break the deal. If it's a deal breaker, the deal's been broken. I'm sorry. Like, it's upsetting, especially when you feel like you have there's potential of this relationship. However, in terms of big, not me hitting this, I'm sorry, microphone. But in terms of big decisions, in terms of like where you want to live, your background, like how you want to raise your kids, XYZ, those are very important in terms of the future. You're going to save yourself a lot more pain down the road as if you halt it now, as opposed to letting the flower flourish and then it dies.
Although with that said, there are some people who are products of inter-religion relationships, interfaith, that's it, interfaith relationships, and everything worked out, but that's because there was a willingness to compromise from both sides.
That's the thing. There has to be a willingness to compromise. And if there is that willingness from both of you to compromise and, you know, meet in the middle, you know, some things okay, some things no, that's great. But you have to I think there's nothing wrong in terms of being staunch, in terms of
being pious.
This is what I believe. This is how I feel like this should be done. And there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Nothing.
However, if you're not willing to compromise, then the ship has sunk.
Cut it
off.
Shout out to OT Genesis. Next, dilemma number 2.
So this one is a lengthy one.
Oh gosh, I like lengthy.
Me too.
So it says, I understand this may sound shallow.
Ooh, off the bat. Not the warning.
This sounds shallow.
Let me zoom in. So
go in.
But I ask for your open mind, understanding, and perhaps even a bit of relatability if there is any.
Okay.
I am of African descent, but was born and raised in Germany.
Okay.
My family then moved us to the UK when I was young. My English obviously wasn't great, and I was relentlessly bullied for my European accent by my black peers.
Ew.
This was the don't jealous me era. I remember don't jealous me.
Don't jealous me.
Love don't jealous me. And being called a freshie for sounding different. To fit in, I obsessed over perfecting my speech, and now people can't tell me I wasn't born here. Admittedly, something my insecure inner child takes pride in.
Okay.
Because of this, I've always been drawn to men who speak/sound like me using British slang and UK accents. I've struggled in my love life, but recently met someone amazing on a dating app. Our texts flow effortlessly, and he makes me want to scream "Hail God" on a rooftop on a rainy day.
When a man makes you does that, oh my God, when a man makes you do that.
Okay.
Ooh.
But when we finally spoke on the phone, his "oh hello" with a thick African accent threw me off. I hate to admit it, but I cringed. I still enjoy texting him, but hearing him speak sometimes gives me the ick because I immediately associate him with an uncle of mine. Ooh. I know attraction can grow, but how do I get past this? I feel awful for even asking. Please help.
Okay, I hear why she started off with like the caveat, like
so we can understand
because
it.
I know that judgment-free zone, but I know that there are some people listening that would probably judge and they'll think, oh my God, like how could your mother accent be cringy to you?
Yeah.
But let's break it down. So it's funny that she said, I wonder if there's any relatability there, because obviously my partner, he has an accent.
Yeah.
So even though he's lived all over the world, Zimbabwe, and his dad was a diplomat, so Zimbabwe, Angola, where else does he live? Zimbabwe, Kenya, and then now America, and he's been in America for 15 years now. But he has an accent. But to me, it was like, okay, you have what sounds like a Nigerian accent, but I'm Nigerian, so...
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But also, I was never bullied for my accent that much, right? I was bullied at one point, but I was bullied more for other things, not my accent. So if I'm someone that has a lot of like childhood trauma there linked to being made fun of because of the way I speak, it's no wonder that one would try desperately to assimilate, right?
Yeah.
We attempt to assimilate to protect ourselves,
exactly,
don't we?
Yeah, especially as like Black women.
Exactly. We do it in so many ways, like whether it's the way we dress, our hair, our accent,
address people. You're just trying to protect yourself from harm's way, whether that's emotional, physical.
Exactly.
That sort of thing.
So I will give you so much grace here, and I hope other people listening aren't judging you for that, because you had to deal with the repercussions of being different, right? And as a coping mechanism, you decided to assimilate, you decided to change, but in changing, you fed your subconscious to believe the African accent is bad or the Nigerian accent is bad and the British accent is good, right?
Well, not just good, more superior.
Yes.
In a way, whether you want to admit it or not, your subconscious is telling you that one way of speaking is not just good, but the better way of speaking.
Exactly.
Which it's not, in my opinion. But obviously I get what you're saying in terms of, what's it when like osmosis, like the outside is like penetrated in?
That is you've been influenced by societal standards. And we all have subconscious biases.
We do.
Like whether we want to admit it or not, we might hear, like, for example, I have a subconscious bias. When someone says we was instead of we were, I want to pull my hair out. And it drives me crazy. But again, like, this is me judging based on society telling us you speak like this and not like this. And bear in mind, like, these are invented. This is an invented language, right?
Exactly.
Right? Like, God has not said this is the right way to speak.
Exactly.
Society has taught us this. So I understand why, to you cringe a little because of everything you have been through. With that said, good men are far and few, baby.
Do you know?
Good men are far and few.
Baby.
What's your thought on this, Afua?
Okay. Well, my thought on this is, I think mainly because it's hard when you're, because it's not you, do you know what I mean? And how you would deal with it. It's someone else's background and experiences. I personally don't really care what people think about me or who I'm dating or how they look or how they speak. My boyfriend's got a Scottish accent. Like,
I do love can you do a Scottish accent?
No, I can't do
We're Scottish.
It's Scottish.
Is that Scottish? Is that Scottish accent?
Can you do
it? Oh my God, that's terrible, isn't it?
I'm trying to get a bit of cap here. No,
that
is so good.
That's like a bit of cap.
That is so good.
Do that again.
I'm trying to get a bit of cap here.
Oh God, and he has a strong accent.
Not strong. Well, he's from Edinburgh, so his accent's a little softer. So that's me really.
I love accents though.
Going in on like a groundskeeper Willie accent. I hope this doesn't make it onto Scottish Twitter. I don't want to be dragged.
No, but the thing is, we're bigging it up. I love a bit of an accent.
I love me an accent.
Okay,
that's
so I
the
hate
thing.
you. So you're not. Yeah.
I like an accent from all over the world. You know what I mean? So I'm very open to how people speak, just as long as you're not ignorant. But ignorant doesn't have a sound.
Yes.
It's only when you say something that's ignorant.
That is correct.
So maybe this person is making like assumptions about this person already based on their voice and what they think of them. I think because I care. So I mean, obviously everyone cares, but I don't try and live my life for other people or how people perceive me. So maybe it's a case of, are you embarrassed to be with someone who speaks like this?
She says he sounds like, he reminds her of her uncle.
An uncle. Well, that also is like, I get that in the sense of might turn you off a bit. Like, I can't date someone that looks like my brother. Like, that would creep me out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
I guess the sound.
I understand that. It just depends on how much this person
has to offer.
Exactly.
Yeah, because the thing is, and I have a friend who met a guy and she didn't like his accent, right? Not even his accent, sorry. She didn't like the pitch of his voice.
Ooh.
His accent.
Sorry, that's me.
His accent was British, but it was just like on the higher side.
No, see.
Oh, wait, producer Nisha. No, that no was strong.
Was it a bit delicate?
Could you date a guy that had like a quite a high pitched voice?
No, I'm so sorry, because I think as a girl, I've not really got like a high voice. Like, I'd say my voice is quite like mid. Like, in terms of tone.
Okay.
So if you're sounding higher than me, there's a problem there.
I can't.
In terms of what gets you going as well.
Like, I'm not being.
People like what they like.
I don't want to be shallow
thing.
here, but I'm gonna have to be slightly shallow here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's completely fine.
This kind of like deads my advice though, because it's like, because I do agree. If you like what you like, but at the same time, sometimes we do have to be flexible.
Yes.
Depending on the person we
you
have.
Gotta compromise.
Yes,
we have to compromise.
No one is perfect.
Friend, she couldn't stand it, and I said to her, look. Maybe it's because you're not used to it. And the more time you spend with this person, you will become used to it.
Yeah.
In which case, she spent time with him. And after a while, the accent that was slightly jarring for her, or the pitch that was slightly jarring for her in the beginning, she was comfortable with.
Oh, she warmed up.
She got used to it. She warmed up to it, right? Obviously not her preference. She wanted some bassy Barry White, like, oh, what you say, like, hey. She wanted like a bassy guy, right? But she was like, you know what? I'm used to it. It is what it is. And like I've said in the past, you will never find 100% perfection in anybody.
Yeah.
So my thing is, if the guy on paper is really making you say, hey, God.
Screaming from the rooftops,
right?
Like, thank you for sending him.
Yeah, that's the positive you need to take from this.
Yes, are you going to throw away a great guy because he has a Nigerian accent? And what's mad, let me tell you something as well. This might help. Again, the advice here is like not to live according to validation, which I agree with. But at the same time, Nigeria is popping right now.
Nigeria is popping right now. You don't want your ticket over there, boo? Like
Nigeria is, it's cool. It's trendy.
Cool. It is trendy.
Do you know how many like IG baddies in America, whether it's like Miami baddies, ATL baddies, they want themselves a Nigerian guy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thick accent and all. Exactly. Like, it's popping. So thick like
accent, thick wallet. Like,
yes, all of it. Everything that comes with it.
They want that whole package. So it's more just a case of, as something becomes more trendy, maybe you'll become more okay with it, which is wrong in an essence. But
yeah, not even as it becomes more trendy, but acknowledge the fact that to other women, his accent is sexy.
Exactly. And then you're going to be feeling like a mug. Yeah, throw him away.
Don't lose out on being with a great guy just because of his accent. The accent will grow on you. And it is your accent at the end of the day. It's like your native accent. Obviously, you said you moved to Germany, but prior to that, like that's your country's accent.
Exactly. So, the real mother tongue.
Yeah, my advice is charge it to the game. You'll get used to it, girl.
Charge it to the game. Every once in a while, you just got to charge it to the game, especially if he's got you out here screaming to the Lord. And it said, I think the message said that they'd only spoken on the phone.
Yes.
Have they not even met in person?
Well, I assume that maybe he's like abroad, or is it via dating app? Maybe. Like he's ticked loads of boxes. And you know what? She might find that in person.
Yes.
It annoys her less.
Exactly, it might do.
Yeah.
Because if you're seeing someone's face and they're speaking to you and the words coming out, but that's coupled with like a presence, that might be better. However, when you're just hearing someone's voice on the phone, you can be like, aye.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and if he's fine, trust me, you look at his face.
If he is fine, girl, he couldn't even be speaking English. He could be speaking Simlish and it'd be A-okay. Like, it's all good.
So don't forget, if you have a dilemma, you can send it to the email inbox, which is tony@tonytoldmepod.com, or you can send us a DM via Instagram at tonytoldmepod. So now let's get into the meat of this podcast, which is interracial relationships. The reason why I wanted to do this is because I thought it would be a juicy topic anyway, but also I feel like a lot of the time when we hear about like interracial dating, it's usually from men.
Yeah, it is. And it usually is coupled with some BS.
Yeah.
with some... why do you only date white women? Because black women are evil.
Like, and it's always like very negative.
Yeah.
As far as like how they relay their preference, right?
Yes.
And I just knew that having this conversation with you, it will not be like that. And also I want to hear from women because there are some stats and facts that I'll get into later that kind of like support certain opinions.
Yes.
So let's take it back to the beginning. How did you and your man meet? Because obviously, Ghana girl, Scottish guy.
Yes.
Where did you meet?
Well, in the beginning, how did me and Luke?
Yeah, you and Luke. How did you and Luke meet?
How did me and Luke meet? So me and Luke met on a dating app. So I was living in Bristol. I lived in Bristol for like 4.5 years, going on 5 years. I went to uni there.
Okay.
And then I got a job in television. Okay. So I was working in TV there. And with TV, you have like blocks of work. So you'll work for a period of time and then you'll take a little bit of time off. Then you work for a period of time and take a bit of time off. I just finished working on a show for Channel 4. It was really cute. It's about dogs. And I had never had like a proper break in television. So I was just like... Moved back to London because I was born and raised here, Southeast. I said Southeast is in East Dulwich. But so I was born and raised here, left, came back, and then I was just doing my own thing. Like I'd never really been like an adult in London. I had my own spot. Like I was dating,
nice.
I was just,
big girl life.
Big girl life, doing up big girl, rent is expensive, but you can't put a price on freedom.
Yeah.
So
say it again.
I was doing that, and then it was in September.
Yeah.
I was just on Bumble because I'd been banned from Hinge.
Hold up. You were banned from Hinge. How does one get banned from Hinge.
Basically, it wasn't my fault. And I've even, look, Hinge, if you're watching, not that I need the profile anymore, but I would have liked it back at the time. Basically, I was working on a TV show.
Yes.
In Bristol, when I worked in television, about dogs.
Yes.
And my casting producer was like, Afua. And when you're a researcher, I was a casting researcher. My job was to find people to be on the show. When I was doing that, my producers would give me, like, not just who's applying, I'd have to go and find a specific story.
Okay.
Afua, can you find someone who just had a heart transplant and is looking for a dog? And then I'd be like, cool. Then I'd use my tools to try and find someone like that.
Yeah.
Or Afua, can you find us a nun who wants a dog? Cool. I went to the convent, asked around if they needed it. I'm so serious I did this. And at one point they're like, Afua, we're looking for like a single guy who maybe just got out of a really heartbreaking relationship and is looking for a dog to fill that hole in its heart. So they tell me like kind of a storyline of what they'd want. And I'd be like, I can find someone like that. So I went on Hinge and I put the poster for the show, like,
you were using Hinge for recruitment purposes, work-related recruitment purposes.
No, it wasn't exactly like that. I mean, it was still my profile, but I'd had one to think, by the way, if you want to be on the show.
Okay, fair.
And then some bitter person must have reported me, and then Hinge was like, you're done. You're finished.
No. Okay.
So I had to move on to Bumble, which was the next best thing.
But you found success on Bumble.
Yeah, I found success on Bumble. I'm actually going to email them when me and Luke get married and ask them for some seed money to sponsor the wedding.
Hey, if you don't ask, you don't get.
If you don't ask, you don't get. So we met on Bumble in like September. We were speaking for a little while. And then, oh bless him, I got the ick a little bit.
You got the ick? Why did you get the ick?
And it wasn't anything he'd done. I'd seen a photo of him and he's extremely handsome.
I've seen him. He's a very handsome
He's
man.
gorgeous.
Very handsome.
But he's very handsome. But in one photo, he looked really small.
Wow.
Because he was next to his friends. And now I've met his friends. They're all like ridiculously tall.
Yeah.
He's tall. He's 5'11".
Yeah.
Cusping on 6 foot.
Cusping
on 6 foot.
But when you're 5'11" next to 6'5", you're gonna look short. Yeah.
He looked a little smaller, and that was just me being a little bit shallow, being like, no, I'm not dealing with that. I need a man that's 6'3". So yeah, I was like, I'm actually like not dating at the minute. Like I'm okay. And then a couple weeks later, I realized this guy was actually so nice, and we were getting along really well. And at the time, he was in Edinburgh for a bit.
Okay.
And he was like, I'm actually coming back down to London. So we started speaking again. He's like, I'm back in London officially. I'm like, you know, I came on my humble thing like, hey, I'm back. I'm back. And then, yeah, we were supposed, it's actually quite nice because the week we were supposed to go on our date, I'd gotten some bad news about a family member who'd passed away.
Sorry.
Which was really upsetting. And I told him, and he was so understanding. He was like, you know, if you want to cancel our date, that's completely fine. You know, if not, I would still like to really take you out. And I was like, you know what, I've been really looking forward to this. I'd still like to go out with you. So right before the date, he'd planned he was like, I really want to take you out to eat. I want to make sure that you're eating. You know, he was just so nice. He was like, I planned that we can go here, here, and here. And then whatever you want to do.
I love a man who plans.
A man with a plan. And then it was the most beautiful first day. Literally, like, the second I laid eyes on him, I was like, oh my God, not him being beautiful. You know, when you look at a guy and you're like, you're gorgeous.
Yes.
So that was our first date, and we've just been like chalk and cheese, batty and bench. Like,
you said batty and bench.
Batty and bench. Guess who's the bench?
How long have you been together?
So we've been together just over a year.
Okay,
so we made it official in February 2024. But we have 2 anniversaries. So we have the anniversary of our first date, and then we have the anniversary of when we made it official.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh, that's cute. Is Luke the first white guy you've ever dated?
No.
Oh, really? Okay. So break it down. As far as like people you've dated, what are like? Have you dated a black guy before?
I've never had a black boyfriend, but I've dated black guys before.
So as far as like black guys you've dated and white guys you've dated more white guys than black guys?
Definitely.
Really?
So I say that's so hard. Like, guys, I'm not even gonna lie to anyone right now. Mate, I resided in the snow. I was making snowmen.
She was making snow angels.
I was making snow angels.
She's like, I love it here.
Exactly.
I love it.
I went where I was loved, and hey,
we are gonna touch on that.
Yeah, they like me in Canada, so I was in the snow. So yeah, I've dated more white men than black men, and I've only ever had white boyfriends.
Okay.
I had like 2 boyfriends at school. Both of them were white, and then like 2 boyfriends as an adult.
Yeah.
Luke being the current one. And the last one.
Amen.
I'm finished.
I'm
all day
when
now.
you know.
I'm
Amen.
done. I'm all good.
When it comes to think of it, I've dated outside my race.
Yes.
But I've never had a white boyfriend.
You've never had a white boyfriend?
No, I've gone on dates with white guys.
How did that go?
Yeah, cool. But I feel like it sounds cliche to say this, but sometimes I would feel like they're not intimidated by me. They seem super shy, basically.
Yes, there's a level of, I feel like, not that we as black women are intimidating. I feel like there's a level of like
it's like foreign
sheer
territory.
Confidence, and I feel like with black women, because society refuses to bolster us up, we have to be our own cheerleaders.
Oh,
so
yes.
Some people obviously automatically assume that you're like overconfident or cocky because of how you walk into the world. You have to walk into the world with like, I got this, I'm the shit, because no one else is telling me that.
The world will destroy us.
The world
otherwise.
will destroy you if you don't have your own back. And I feel like a lot of black women have had to learn that from very, very young ages and have internalized that. So when it comes out in terms of dating with maybe white men who haven't had to experience that before, they may be like, oh, I'm a bit nervous or whatnot.
It was like an endearing shyness.
Yeah, it's
but
cute.
It was just too shy for me. That was all.
Yeah, sometimes you need that sort of confidence.
Yeah. But I have had Asian boyfriends.
Have you?
Yeah, so I've dated like
East or South?
So one was Indian, so South, and then the other one was Mauritian, but his like heritage is Indian. So I have dated outside my race as far as like I had boyfriends that weren't black, but they weren't white. So I've been on dates with white. I've been on dates with Asian. I've been on dates with black. I've been on dates with mixed. But my boyfriends have all been black or Asian.
Really?
Yeah. So it's interesting because when we talk about interracial dating, people just assume black and white.
Black and white. It's not just black and white. You can have Asian and black.
Yeah.
Like, like it's just. Even within on the same continent, like there, like some people class like South Asian and East Asian,
as
interracial relationship. So it really, I feel like just with our media, white people are centered so much. So when you say an interracial relationship, they automatically assume that one of the people within that is white.
Yeah. Are you the first black woman he's ever dated?
Yes, I am the first black girl he's ever had. He's loving his life.
He's like, once you go back,
yeah,
you never go back.
He can't. I don't think he can go back. He had been on a date with a black girl before.
Okay.
I think they went on 1 or 2 dates, but it never worked out. Like, sucks for you, sis. But I'm the first black woman that he's had the joy of loving. So that,
I love the way you articulated that.
Of course, it's a privilege to be loved and to love me. Like, very much so. I'm a good girlfriend.
But that's how it should be, though. It should be a privilege for someone to love us.
Exactly. It's very much a privilege. And even with the whole like, sometimes online when you're like, oh, you see the black girlfriend effect. I feel it is real.
It's real. So wait, how has the black girlfriend effect transpired in your relationship?
Well, I feel like for most men, having a girlfriend anyway just helps because we be giving them facials.
on it because my man and him, he needs to stop buying shoes from Target. But we'll get into that later. But when I say like my presence in his life has upgraded his wardrobe significantly, and I'm not even a fashionista, and just simply having me in his life,
there's a level.
He's his whole girls that were not checking for him before. They're like, oh, you see that tie? You see that tie in Nigeria? Yeah,
exactly.
Just know that's all me.
Exactly.
That's all me.
People don't want to check for him. Like, I feel like just having a girlfriend in general, elevates a man in general.
I agree.
I feel like when you walk as a man, if you walk into a room with like a really beautiful, confident, intelligent, well put together bad bitch, like when you walk into a room with them, it automatically elevates your status. Price. Your market price goes up. It does. And whether people want to admit that or not, it's true within the society we live in. It's unfortunate that's in a way that sometimes women are seen as accessories.
Yes, of course.
But the way our society works, as a good looking, smart, like woman, like doing your own thing, if a man attached to that, everyone else is going to be thinking, oh, how did he manage to pull that off? Yeah. And I feel like with a white man, if you add a black woman on top of that,
it's like, oh,
how did you do that?
On the topic of him being one of several white guys you've dated in the past, whereas he's the first, you're the first black woman he's dated.
Yes.
Have you met his family yet?
I have met his family.
How did they respond to you? Because I would say, how did your family respond to him? But your family's probably used to you. They probably like, oh yeah, her husband gonna be white.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So
my mom told me years ago that apparently someone told her that when I was quite young, oh yeah, Matthew's gonna marry a white man.
Really?
And my mom's actually she's never had any type of feelings about it. My mum likes white people.
So she's very accepting.
She's very accepting. My mum likes
important,
all people.
I think. And that's so lovely that she's accepting.
She's
because
very
not all
accepting.
parents are.
Not all parents
They're very
are.
passionate about like their children marrying within their race. So how were his family to you when you met them?
Extremely lovely.
They were super warm, super lovely.
Super warm, super lovely, very
I love
kind.
that for you.
And here's the thing, I feel like it's a difference with, so obviously I've mentioned my partner is Scottish.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a difference between dating Celts and English people.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
talk me through the difference.
So
What's
like
the
Celts to me, when I'm saying like Celts, I'm talking like not English. So
Yeah.
of these British Isles, I'm talking like Irish,
Yeah.
Scottish, and Wales.
Okay.
I played for all 3 teams.
Oh, really? All 3 teams. You got experience.
Well, I've been on dates with Welsh guys.
Yeah,
I've been on
yeah.
dates with Irish guys. And
That
I've been
is jokes.
And I'm currently with a Scottish,
Scottish guy. You're like, tick, 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 tick.
Yeah. I've traveled through the country. Roof down. I've traveled through the country. And I feel like usually it is a little bit different dating. I don't know. I feel their sheer hatred for the English usually makes
it bonds you. The shared hatred
not
for the
hatred.
English bonds you.
not just hate. Well, not hatred. What I'm saying is, what I'm saying is like, culturally speaking, they
Yeah.
kind of understand being looked down upon by
Yeah, of course.
the English, in a sense, their culture not being respected, and they're very passionate about it and very proud of it. So I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, I kind of get that essence. They usually tend to have a little side to it.
This links to my theory about like ginger men. Ginger men love black women.
Ginger men love black
Ginger men
women.
love black women down, right?
Down.
And my theory is linked to that because they have faced discrimination within their own community for being ginger. They've been made fun of. They've
not
been
having
picked at,
soul.
right? It contributed to like this
Binds you together.
mutual and obviously like it's very different levels of understanding because being black is very different from being ginger,
Yeah.
of course, especially in the UK.
There are roles to it. There are levels.
Yeah,
to
there
it.
are levels to
Yeah.
it, but it's like they get something. There's a little something there. There's a little something there. They get it. They're a little spicy. They get something.
Yeah, they
you
get a
know?
little something. My partner is not ginger, but he does have a red streak in him.
Oh, so you
he's
see that red streak? You see what I'm talking about?
It comes out like his beard gets a little red sometimes when it's like in the light. I'll be looking at it and I'm like, oh my god, my kids are gonna be ginger.
I've never met a ginger man who hasn't found black women attractive. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
no, same.
The maths.
The math is mathing.
The math.
It's adding up.
So I'm so glad though that you've had a positive experience because it's not always like that. Like I said, I've dated
Yeah.
like Indian guys in the past, and the dads used to be cool with me, whatever. But the mums, not a fan of me.
Really?
Oh, not a fan of the entire idea, the concept, the nothing. But again, with my awareness, I was like, okay, this can't be long term. This can't be a forever thing
Yeah.
because it's clear that your family and my family are two different.
Exactly.
So in order for it to work, there needs to be that respect there needs to be understanding, like, and a willingness to like open your heart and your family to someone who looks different
And is most likely going to have like a different cultural background. Like there are things that my partner's family does that I don't really get or understand. When I was going over for like
If you had
New
haggis?
Year's, yeah, I love me some haggis. I love haggis.
Sorry, I'm just like, have you had haggis?
Yeah, no, I honestly, I was scared.
Is it
I wasn't. It's bang. Should I tell you what haggis would be nice with?
What?
Some yam and some shito. That
I need
could get
to
on
try
board with.
haggis. That's one that I tried a lot of weird
nice.
foods, but I've never tried haggis.
Haggis is delicious. I didn't think I was gonna. You know, haggis, they like raise them in like little farms, and we saw some up in Edinburgh.
Wait, what do you mean? I thought it was stomach. What do you mean they raised them?
No, it's like a little animal.
Huh?
What animal is it?
No,
you're lying.
Oh my god. I thought she said they raised them. I said, what? All this time I thought it was sheep. I shouldn't even say weird foods, but uncommon foods. Because one thing about me, I've tried alligator, I've tried shark, I've tried python, I've tried zebra, I've tried buffalo. So they're not weird foods, but they're uncommon foods. They're not so weird.
Yeah.
But when you said that, I fully believed you. I can't believe you're pulling my leg on my own podcast.
I'm screwed.
In my head, I was like, what kind of animal is it?
I mean, do you know what? I'm so gullible because my grandpa told me that chorizo was donkey.
I'm screaming.
So my whole
Donkey
entire
tail.
life, it's only like 2 years ago, guys, that I said
you
to
thought you were
someone
eating
and they were like,
donkey.
Anisha, it's not actually donkey. And I was
Oh,
like, well, my
bless
grandpa
you.
told me it was.
No, it's like his thing. They got me with that when I went. I remember before I went, I was like, because one thing we don't do is shy away from conversations about race and whatnot. I'm sure we'll get onto more of that later. But I remember asking him, like, you know, like, how's your family gonna respond to me? And this was more earlier on when we were dating, more in the sense of like, oh, if I was to meet your family, like, what would be the vibe?
Yeah.
AKA, anybody in your family have any points of view that I need to be aware of?
Is anybody racist.
Is anybody racist? And he was just like, no, I think my nan might struggle to say your name, but that's about it.
Oh, that's so good though.
You know, when he showed my photo to his,
Not the nan struggling to say your name. I'm just meaning like, that's good that no one is racist. Because sometimes some people, like I have old colleagues that are like, yeah, my nan's a bit racist.
Yeah,
my granddad's a bit racist.
so boldly.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, I was just like, yeah, no, they don't care. Like they're pretty chilled out. And it was more just a case of when he showed a picture of me to his brothers, they'd just be like, yeah, she's pretty. Like some of his friends were like, Luke, you were the last guy we thought would have because he used to only date like blondes.
Really?
And I've seen some of them and they were all right. So I was just like,
not you.
They were
Don't get his exes on the pod.
They were okay. Like they were they were cute, I guess.
Okay, she's so cute,
I
guess.
Yeah, they were nice, but you know,
but they're not you.
He's come to the chocolate factory.
He's come to the chocolate. Willy Wonka is here.
Hey, he's here. He's loving life. So yeah, they were just like, oh, we just never thought you'd get like date a black girl just because all your girlfriends have been kind of cookie cutter, blonde, Wonder Bread, you know.
Yeah.
Straight out the oven.
You kill me. You said
like this is Wonder Bread. Like you know, everybody,
it is what it is.
I like white bread.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with white bread.
Yeah.
I love me some white bread.
So we've talked about like how his family responded, how your family responded. How does the world respond to you? Like, have you ever been in a situation where you have faced microaggressions or negative criticism or weird looks? Because like speaking to people who have been in interracial relationships, they've mentioned that when I have had partners in the past and they haven't been black, I would hear comments from black men in particular about like me selling out and etc and all this stuff. Have you ever faced any of that?
Yeah, loads.
Really?
So much. Literally just, not as much within my current relationship because no one would even try to say that to my face. I'd grill them so much. I'd be grilling them. But in the past, definitely. And I'm sure people must still think that about me now. But I've had people be like, oh my God, you don't love yourself. Like, how could you sell yourself to a white man? Like, you know, it's just ridiculous. But I've had people say that I'm like, not like ruining the black family, like like ruining the black family, like your kids aren't gonna be fully black, and I'm just like, oh, can we not get into this quadroon octoroon mess? Like,
I'm glad you touched on this though.
Like it's just, I just find it ridiculous. Like whatever comes out of me is black as hell. Okay, I don't care what the other half is. My kids are gonna be black. I've spoken to my partner about this, being like, our children will be black, your kids will be black. And he's like, yeah, I understand that. He's been doing his reading, you know. Yeah. I caught him the other day, we were sitting with Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race. Just sitting there in the living room, just reading it.
Trying to upskill.
Yeah,
trying to learn more.
Reading it. And I was just like, that's a white king right there.
When we're talking about like the difference between black men dating outside their race and black women dating outside their race, there's actually like statistical evidence that they are very different.
Oh, really?
Yes, particularly when it comes to rates of divorce. Now, let me share this with you.
Oh, okay.
So there was a study done by sociologists. And again, I will caveat this by saying that it's not super new. This was like, I think, 2009, 2008. And they analysed lots of data on different couples, white couples, black couples, interracial couples, white Asian, loads of different couples, right? And they found after 10 years of marriage, interracial couples involving white females and non-white males had higher divorce rates compared to white and white couples. So if you're a white woman and you date outside of your race, you are more likely to divorce than if you dated within your race.
Okay.
However, actually no, let me specify even more.
Okay, go into
it. So you're more likely to divorce as a white woman if you date outside your race. Okay. But specifically, if you as a white woman marry a black man, you are twice as likely to divorce by the 10th year compared to if you had married a white man.
See, this what Dr. Umar's been telling you before.
No, but Dr. Umar's not entirely right. He's not entirely right. And I'll tell you why.
Because you're going to tell us why.
Conversely, white men who date black women are 44% less likely to divorce than if they had married white women. So
really?
So what the data is showing us, this old study in 2008, might I add, but what the data is showing is that if you are a black woman and you marry a white man, you are 44% less likely to divorce than if you had married a black man and stayed within your race, right? However, if you're a white woman and you choose a black man, you're twice as likely to get divorced than if you'd stay within your race. So what I'm seeing from this data is that interracial relationships are more successful for black women than they are for black men. And they're more successful for white men than they are for white women.
But then black women are the ones that
are not dating outside their race. And it's interesting because when we hear about interracial dating in the black community, it's very much black man, white women, black man, white women. Statistically,
Kanye and Kim.
Statistically, your relationship, I mean, this isn't true for every relationship. There are interracial relationships with white women and black men that have lasted the test of time, right? Yes. Flourishing, right? But generally, statistically, your relationship is one of the most likely for divorce.
Well, it's nice to know that I'm going to be less likely to get divorced. That's good.
But according to the data, like none of us will divorce in Jesus' name. Amen. But according to the data, you are statistically less likely to divorce than I am.
Really?
Yeah, because
God forbid.
I will never divorce in Jesus' name.
Amen.
But statistically, based on stats, you and Luke have a lower rate of divorce. Could it be that if the wife kind of sets pace in the family and sets the tone for the household, white men are more comfortable with assimilating and compromising and merging with black culture than black men are with merging with white culture. Could it be that that's the reason? Or could it be that white men give black women the space to be, you said we show up very confidently and we show up very assertively because the world is the way it is with us. We have to be our cheerleader. Is it that white men culturally give black women more space to do that? And that's why their relationships are typically more successful than if they'd been with black men. I don't know.
I can only speak on my own personal experience, but the amount of peace that my partner has given to me, not just because he's white, but because he's a remarkable person. Yeah. But there's a level of him just kind of letting me be who I am. Like, as you can see from my hair, I'm very au naturel. Yeah. You know, I do wear a wig every once in a while. You know, I've only just started wearing wigs.
Yeah,
when
I've always known you to have your natural hair.
I always have my natural hair out or my hair braided. I've only started wearing wigs. He much prefers me in a natural state as opposed to black men I've dated who want me more like more like lashes, more kind of like done up. And this is just my own personal.
So your
experience.
Anecdotal experience is that you could be more blackity black in the way I'm truly blackity black in the sense of the way you portray yourself to the world,
like naps down, like
with a white guy more than with your previous experiences with
with previous experiences in dating black men.
Another thing that's really interesting that I found out, like the mixed race population actually tripled from 2001 to 2021 in the UK to 1.7 million. So
people
clearly,
be swirling.
way more people swirling. Yeah, swirling. Way more people are swirling. You know, Anisha's biracial.
Anisha, you're biracial.
I am.
What's the mix saying?
Half Trinidadian and half English.
Can I ask a personal question?
You can indeed.
Is your mother black or your mother's white?
My mum is white, my dad is black.
Okay. Oh, we should ask Anisha about what she thinks about the divorce stuff.
Obviously you don't have to disclose any of your business.
So my parents got divorced when I was 6.
Okay.
And then they did a plot twist, got back together.
I'm screaming.
When I was 17.
Wait.
Are they together now?
Yeah.
Hold up. No. It's giving movie. So let me get this right. So yours is because your dad, is he Trini? Is he Asian or is he black?
No, he's mixed as well. He's mixed. Black and Indian.
Okay.
All coolie.
So your dad, the man of color, married a white woman.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the statistic held true.
Indeed, it's
and within 10 years they divorced. But yours is mad. Yours is giving movie because what do you mean 10 years later they got remarried?
So yeah, My mum got remarried to someone else.
Wait, after your dad?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
My mum's going to be listening to this like,
why are you airing out all my business?
Wait. No, my mum's like the most open person like in the whole entire world. Like she will tell this story to anyone.
Love that.
She got remarried. My dad had other girlfriends. But yeah, no. So my mum got remarried and then she divorced with her ex-partner and my dad found out, and I said to my dad, don't think you're gonna get back with mum because she doesn't want you.
Ooh.
And then he just had the massive, like, biggest smile on his face. I've never seen him smile like that. And he was like, yeah, okay. And
I'll
then,
show you.
Yeah, they got back together.
Oh my, that is so Hollywood.
Is
Yeah.
there any statistic in there about the recoupling rate?
No, unfortunately not.
I
But
don't
clearly,
think there is.
for Anisha, it was like her parents, it was clearly meant to be, because how are you going to get divorced, get remarried, and then you only end up back together?
Back
Yeah.
together again.
Like,
when it's right.
that is insane. Why do you think then, being a product of man of color, white women relationships, why do you think maybe the divorce rate is much higher?
Speaking from like experience and what I know my parents went through, because as I got older, they obviously were a little bit more open with me about like the problems they had in their marriage. Culturally, my dad found it very hard to... He was used to the woman staying at home, looking after the children, doing the housework. My mum could not be further from that. Like, that is not how my mum is. My mum is a boss. Like, she goes out, works. That's how she's been my whole entire life. She'll go do anything. She'll work, whatever. My dad wasn't. It's not that he didn't want her to be like that. He just wanted her to conform to what he kind of knew. And then that's
more traditional ideals.
Exactly. So that's where the problems came.
Of like a Trinidadian woman.
Exactly. Because my grandma stayed at home,
Yeah.
birthed 10 children. Like, that's how it was.
Okay.
So I think that was one of the problems that they faced. And ultimately, that was probably one of the reasons why they split ways at one point in time.
Okay, that actually does make sense, because I remember saying to my partner, oh, how do you feel if I like took some time off and didn't work after I had kids? Because obviously I'm very progressive, very liberal person, but there's sort of traditional elements that live within me. I remember being like to my partner, how do you feel about that? He'd be like, well, you know, I'd love to do that for you, but like you would have to go back to work at some point. And I'm like, whereas some men would revel in the fact that, oh yeah, you don't have to go back to work, just stay home with the kids.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a racial element to that.
I think there might be, because like, I guess if you are a black man, and particularly a black man who is of African Caribbean descent.
Yeah.
I mean, we all are, but I mean, like, not African American, for example.
Yeah.
So if you are of African descent and you've seen your mother parent a certain way or wife in a certain way, maybe that's where it comes in. Maybe the divorce rate is higher with black men and white women because they want their wife to be like their Ghanaian mother,
mum making jollof, frying plantain,
and if that's not going to happen, that's not going to happen. Whereas maybe white guys, it's like, my mother was just like Western and worked and did whatever, so I'm flexible, so it is what it is. Whereas black men, maybe stereotypically, more of them do have this traditional ideal that they want played out in their household by their wife. And when that doesn't happen, it's like a shock to the system, because it's like, oh wait, I'm not going to get my egusi soup and pounded yam.
When I get home.
From the door. No brown stew chicken for me tonight. Oh, what do you mean you're going to work? Is you're going to work? What do you mean you should be here? Like, but there is so much more to talk about when it comes to experiences, when it comes to the sociology. You are a past sociology student
of sociology, and I would next time I'm going to come with like my Kimberly Crenshaw facts.
I love that.
Come, with all of that,
because we need to get into the nitty gritty.
We do need to get into. Oh, does this mean I can come back?
Oh my, of course.
That's nice.
Of course you can come back.
I'll bring Luke next time.
Oh yeah, bring Luke. You just need to remind him that his name is Luke.
I need to remind him
that his real name.
Look, okay, stick around for part 2. I'll reveal, I'll reveal what my man's called.
But
before you do, sorry, I hate to take charge on your podcast.
Go ahead.
I just want to tell the ladies out there, oh my God, let me speak to the camera. I just want to talk to my black women out there. Just go where you're loved, baby. You are beautiful. You are smart. You're intelligent. People look at you and think, wow, I wish I was like her. You can get any guy you want, regardless of race or creed. You do your thing. Just go where you're loved, okay? And don't let anyone make you feel bad for it, right?
I love that you did that because we always end with positive words, and I feel like you've smashed that.
Yes.
And I completely agree. I'm going to echo what you said for the like positive words at the end.
Of course.
In society, you might feel pressure to date certain types of people. You might feel pressure to date people who look a certain way, who talk a certain way, who have a certain accent, like we heard in this dilemma. It's normal that society tries to put us in boxes, especially when it comes to who we choose to love. Like that's been going on for yonks. You have people who love individuals of the same gender, and society has tried to tell them, you cannot, you must not, it's wrong, right? Still trying, exactly. But when it comes to matters of the heart are so complex, right?
Extremely.
And love is such a beautiful thing. To be able to love someone loudly and proudly, to be able to meet someone who sees you, who understands you, who allows you to show up as your authentic self, who allows you to be vulnerable. That's not a common thing. You are incredibly blessed if you've met someone and you have that connection with them. And so to echo what was said by my amazing guest, definitely go where you are respected, go where you are celebrated, go where you are loved. Whether it's someone of a different race, whether it's someone of a different gender, it doesn't matter what other people have to say or want to say, right? So yeah, I just want to end it there.
Amen.
Like, go where you are celebrated, love who you want to love. The person you choose to spend your life with is going to dictate so much of your life, so much of your outcomes. You may as well choose to be with someone who truly loves and respects you regardless of their race. That is all from me. Afua, you've been amazing. You're such a wonderful guest. I would love to have you back. Again, we just scratched the surface. We need to like have a deep, thorough conversation about this.
We did.
If you enjoyed it, make sure you like on YouTube. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Please leave a comment. And if you're on Twitter, I'm not saying X, if you're on Twitter, it's always going to be Twitter to me.
Amen.
Please write a tweet using the hashtag Toni told me. I would love to know what you guys think.